Hi there, you're watching Midwinter Minis. I'm Hattie, and it's currently Wargaming event season in the UK. We've just come back from Salute, and by we, I mean me, Ant and Steve. But this weekend, Guy and I are going to Warhammer Fest with a special guest, Mavericks Paint. But this video is about Salute, so let's get on with it. If you weren't aware already, Salute is a single-day wargaming convention hosted by the South London Warlords at the Excel Centre in London. I was lucky enough to be invited along as a guest to speak on the Women in Wargaming panel, which is something I was totally honoured to be asked to do, and I still don't really feel like I was worthy of being on it, but they asked, so I did it. It was a really fun, if quite busy day. Of course, we started the day with an obligatory coffee. Shout out to the Tim Hortons Banoffee Ice Latte. Then we arrived and I saw the size of the queue at the door. It was enormous. At this point, I was getting a little bit nervous about how many people were going to witness my first ever time on a panel and all of my public speaking flubs, since public speaking has never really been something that I've excelled at or even done properly, other than having to read a paragraph in front of the class at school, which was horrible enough. Anyway, as many of you are aware, Steve is an incredible painter, and quite rightly he decided to enter some things into the painting competition. After that, we had a mooch around to see what stalls and exhibitors were there and to look at these tiny little sheep. So cute! We saw so many people there too. A lot of our friends were there, like Louise and Peach and the guys from 40k in Colchester, but also we met a ton of new friends and fans of the channel too. It's so nice to be able to come to events like these and see the real humans behind the names on the screen, and I feel so humbled by the support I was shown by every single one of you. Before my panel started, I found Louise and Peach and the rest of the Painting Phase gang, and we ended up in a little peg battle because Peach was going around pegging people with Painting Phase branded clothes pegs, and Steve brought a whole bag of colourful pegs to get him back. But then I also got. Thanks, Ant. While Louise and I were prepping for the panel, Steve and Ant went to visit the painting competition cabinets. Then it was panel time. The footage we got wasn't great, so I won't put too much of it in, but the gist of the panel was to discuss what women and people of other marginalised genders experience in the hobby. On the panel with me was Louise, formerly Games Workshop with me and now Rogue Hobbies, Supergirl Stephanie in the awesome Dark Eldar cosplay, Rachel the Warhammer Girl, and Kerry or K-Legs, and our hostess with the mostest was Phoebe, dripping in paint. Now, as you can imagine with the panel called Women in Wargaming, our topic was a little more serious than the likes of the Hobby Heroes panel. We started out by talking about the different experiences that non-men experience in the hobby. The general feeling I got from all of our answers was that, on the whole, we've all had very positive experiences in what is still a very male-dominated space. Here were my thoughts on it. 99% of my experience in Wargaming has been absolutely lovely and very welcoming, but I do feel with the likes of social media that unfortunately our presence has been somewhat combated in some circles. I don't know a single woman in the industry who hasn't had some sort of hate just for being a woman. We've come a long way, but I do feel we still have quite a long way to go in terms of full acceptance.
Has Warhammer, has Games Workshop ever had a Women in Warhammer panel? Or anything?
No.
Interesting!
This led to us talking about how social media has affected our experiences in the hobby.
So I think it's like a double-edged sword, because there are really good parts, and now we can build this community, we can have discussions like this, so we can invite more women to the space, but also we are now more accessible, and the people who were always going to fight us being there can now find us more easily. We just want to enjoy this thing the same as you do, you know?
And lastly, we discussed what actionable things would improve the experiences for people that aren't dudes.
If you're online and you see people being mean to us, just tell them to stop it. Don't leave nasty comments and don't let hate slide. I think you have to call it out if you see it.
And I'd like to add that should apply to any bigoted hate you see online, no matter who it's directed at. I'd also like to add that Louise, Stephanie, Rachel, Kerry and Phoebe also all had really good answers to the questions. We don't have footage of their answers or the rest of the discussion, but hopefully someone out there was filming it and will have made it accessible online. If I find it, I'll let you know. Being on this panel, for me, was a really positive experience. I came away from it feeling like I found a sort of sisterhood within the community, and it's helped me realise that even when negativity strikes online, none of us are alone. I still feel so honoured to have been part of that panel, so thank you so much again to the South London Warlords for hosting such an important panel and for inviting me to be part of it. Hopefully in the coming years we won't even need to have a women-specific panel and we can just be integrated into Hobby Heroes or something similar. I did hear that apparently our panel was the best attended of the day, which is fantastic news, and it shows me that these topics are necessary and important, and I really hope we did a good job and managed to inspire and encourage more women to join in with the community.
Let's go, girls.
All in all, I had a really good day. It was so busy, but super fun and inspiring to meet so many talented people all in one place. Speaking of talent, it was time for the painting results. And Steve won a silver and 2 golds for his diorama, his Warhound and his squad.
In second place we have Stephen Smith, Dark Mirror. And in first place we have Stephen Smith, Warhound Titan. Stephen Smith, Base Hulk Terminators.
Woo! Go Stephen!
Clearly he wasn't satisfied with his many wins at Golden Demon last year. I kid. Honestly, it's incredible work and you should follow him if you aren't already. So a big well done to Steve and everyone else who won prizes in the painting competition. There was some outstanding work in those cabinets. And that was that for my day at Salute. I'm absolutely exhausted. But I'll be doing it all again this coming weekend at Warhammer Fest, but this time with Guy and Maverick, who's coming all the way from Canada. We'll be there all 3 days, so come and say hi if you see us, and I may just die of exhaustion afterwards. I'll see you there. Bye!